Who would you rather be? The president of British Petroleum or Barack Obama? Well, I think that the question really is asking whose challenge is greater at this point in time and who is facing more headaches. On one hand, I think the CEO of British Petroleum is in some ways has a narrower job. It's quite obvious what needs to be communicated, the sorts of issues are out there, the questions that need to be answered, responsibilities and obligations that they're either going to fulfill or not fulfill, and it's rather straightforward. It's not easy, and it certainly is not a pleasant task, but at least in terms of understanding what challenges confront him, it seems to be there. President Obama's job is far more complicated, dealing with a whole wide range of constituencies. Federal rules, at the moment, even the courts are working against him at undermining and lifting his drilling moratoriums, and so a lot of his issues are far more complicated. So in some ways, as odd as it may sound, the task in front of the CEO of BP is probably far more straightforward than what the president is facing. I would suggest that if the question comes down to who has the greatest potential to not only solve the physical problems of the oil spill in the Gulf, but of trying to communicate, I would like to think that President Obama probably has more resources at his disposal. But his choices of whom to communicate to and how and what kind of messages, as well as complementing the actions that he takes, is certainly far more complicated. So who would I rather be, the CEO of BP or President Obama? I'm not sure I really want to be either one of them, but I do think that it's far more straightforward of what the executive of BP needs to do, and it's far more complicated of what President Obama has to do in terms of communicating to the American public about this oil spill.